Good morning, UUMAN. I'm Greg Wagoner, and I'm a member of this congregation. As most of you know, our minister, Reverend Dave Dunn, has just begun his sabbatical. Our guest minister today is Lila Lockridge. Lila is a public health program evaluator and educator with a focus on mental health. She has presented a previous talk at UUMAN, Forgiveness as a Path to Liberation. In her search for truth and wisdom, Lila has made an educational journey through multiple systems of faith. On behalf of Lila, our Director of Religious Exploration, Lexi Brown, thank you, Lexi, this morning for helping me out a lot, by the way, Music Director, Alex Peach, and our talented Chalice Choir, my fellow worship associates, and the dedicated technical team that is making today's live stream possible. I would like to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North Congregation, which we lovingly call UUMAN. We are a liberal faith community with the mission to nurture our spirit, strive for justice, and transform the world. No matter who you are, whom you love, or where you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If there are any of you visiting us for the first time and feel comfortable doing so, please rise as you are able and introduce yourself so we can worship with one another as friends. Are there any first-time visitors on my left? And what about on my right? Hi. Welcome and welcome back. Thank you so much for visiting with us this morning, and welcome back. I lost my place. Please feel free to scan the QR code on the back of your printed order of worship or the code located at the greeters table in the foyer to get in touch. All ages are welcome in service. There is a fidget shelf or area for children of all ages in the back of the sanctuary and nursery care available. Please join us immediately after the service for a new member reception in the fellowship hall so that we can welcome our new members into their care circles. Please gather by the giant lollipop that matches your care circle color. If you're unsure which care circle represents your geographic area, see the map located at the greeter's desk and each lollipop. Today's second hour adult enrichment offerings and multi-gen RE activities will run from 11:30 to noon today, so everyone will have plenty of time to mingle. On the RE schedule, is in your program. The next Common Grounds Coffee House will be Saturday, February 17th. Doors open at 7. $5 suggested donation at the door, cash only. Come support UUMAN and local area musicians right here in our sanctuary. Bring some extra cash to tip the performers and for treats from the kitchen. This month's 50-50 recipient is Planned Parenthood. Half of today's plate offering, as well as any checks or Givelify donations specifically designated as 50-50 during the month of February, will go to support the work of Planned Parenthood. And now, let us greet each other in the hand or elbow of friendship. And now, I call on our membership team to please bring up to the front of the sanctuary those who will become members of our congregation today. Those new members who have not yet done so, please sign the membership book here on the pulpit, in front of the pulpit, as your name is called.
All right, thank you. All right. Good morning, everybody. We have 17 new members, so woo! Can they have a little bit more room by the... You'll be gone? Okay. All right. All right, so I'll call you up one at a time, sign the membership book, and then please queue over on the other side of the piano. Michael Arnett. Ellery Arnett. Ash Battistelli. Richard Bamba. Hayden Brown. Valeria Camaño Pinchardo. Alina Herrick. And son Gabriel. And father, Greg Crone. Sharon Page Lewis. Cassie Love. And Dan Carter. Meredith McCaskey. Susan Marino. Merritt Pinnock. Kate Picklesheimer. Patricia Rocky Rydell. And Melinda Whetstone. Here in this church, we together seek a higher purpose and deeper life than we could find alone. We are grateful today for each one of you, that you have found your way here and that you have decided to make a commitment of time, talent, and treasure to this faith community. We hope that as members of this church, you will allow yourselves to know and to be known, to minister and to be ministered unto, to love and to be loved by this congregation. New members, will you accept our gifts of fellowship, discovery, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? Will you add your name to the long history of Unitarian Universalists who spread hope with our living faith? Will you engage with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to love and justice? If so, please respond by saying, "We will."
Members of the Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North Congregation, will you welcome these new members as we each were once welcomed here? Will you offer them the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring to us? Will you honor the changes to this place that these new members will invariably bring? If so, please respond by saying, "We will." We will. New members, we welcome you to this community with all our hearts.
Be and be not afraid. Come into the spirit of meditation and prayer. Imagine you are afraid, and in the same breath, you are safe. In your darkest valley of fear, be and be not afraid to reach for your loved ones, the living and those who have passed on. Be and be not afraid to reach for the source of life, creating, sustaining, redeeming. Be not afraid to reach for sacred stories that show us the way, the histories, the mythologies, the poems, and the songs. Be and be not afraid to reach for the still, small voice whispering within all.
And now let us light our chalice together. Love is the aspiration, the spirit that moves and inspires this faith we share. Rightly understood, love can nurture our spirits and transform the world. May the flame of this chalice honor and embody the power and the blessing of the love we need, the love we give, the love we are challenged always to remember and share. Now, please, to hymn number 346 in the hardback hymnal as we rise in body or spirit. Alex will play through once, and then we will sing together. At this point in our service, we share our joys with each other to magnify them and our sorrows to divide the weight of their pain. If you are so moved, please feel free to come forward, drop a pebble in the bowl, and express a joy or sorrow that you may have. For those of you attending via our live stream, if you have a joy or a sorrow that you would like to share this morning, please type it in the chat.
Adjust this again. I'm Carolyn Lee, and I wanted to share a pebble of joy for our daughter, Rihanna Lee, who grew up in this congregation. She's turning 30 next week, and she was a year old when we joined. And I just have to share that she is a behavioral therapist and has a master's in social work, and that's because of this community. It says it takes a village. Well, it takes a UU village.
I'm Tawana, and I have a sorrow that I missed morning choir practice because I stepped in dog poop in my kitchen. Then a glue trap for the rats was attached to my dress. And then I couldn't find my keys, but they still love me. My joy is UUMAN is a place that's just wonderful to play. They're putting on Casablanca. Tickets are $6. We're going on Friday. Please come play with us. It's at the Aurora Cineplex Theater, and I printed out little information, so I'll leave them up front.
And I'll drop one final pebble for all the joys and sorrows too tender to escape the folds of our hearts. Let us keep one another in our thoughts for the coming week.
Good morning, UUMAN. I want to make sure the volume is right. Is it good? May peace be with you. Thank you to Shelley, Greg Wagoner, Amanda Brawley, and all of the sabbatical team and the worship team who coordinated my inclusion here. I'm very grateful to be here with you. And I'm glad for the privilege to be part of the UUMAN service. I was talking with another UUMANite this morning while we were sitting, and she asked me about the sermon topic, and she was intrigued and said that, oh, well, it's maybe a synchronicity that this topic is coming up at this time. It's interesting, I selected the topic for the talk today before I read about Article 2 and some of the shifts and changes happening within the UUMAN community. And when I did read about that, about centering love, I thought, oh, okay, well, yeah, that's a nice, sort of a serendipitous merging at this time of this talk as UUMAN is moving through this shift in centering love. So during the great pause of 2020, our COVID-19 pandemic, I, like many of us, had more time for self-reflection. And, you know, our journey in this life can be hard. It can be hard. And my self-reflection culminated in my awareness that I had lived for many years in a state of generalized fear and catastrophizing. Those fearful thoughts and feelings had been my constant companions. But during the great pause, I got clear that moving through and beyond the pandemic, I wanted the quality of these next years to be made up of an experience other than fear. Fear was absolutely exhausting. Can anybody relate to that? So I got a piece of paper, and with a thick Sharpie, I wrote, "Live without fear," and stuck it to my living room wall. And then I imagined what that would be like. I tuned into that feeling of its opposite. I tuned into what is the opposite of fear? And what does it feel like? And as that feeling emerged, the words I found that most closely aligned with the feeling are unconditional love. Love without barrier, love without condition, love without qualification. Just complete acceptance of self and others. Not long after that, a friend asked if I wanted to join her in studying a daily lesson from A Course in Miracles. And because it felt right at the time, I said yes. So every day, my friend and I would study one lesson from the workbook of the Course. And there are 365 lessons. And after a few months, I noticed a pattern in the content that was emerging from it. And I'll share a bit about what I learned there. Two domains emerged: love and fear. And I was pleased to find this synchronicity with what I had experienced earlier on my own. Under the domain of love, which the Course says is unconditional and is the foundation of all creation, are states of being which are led by love. So if you imagine love at the top in this umbrella, first underneath that is peace, and peace is big. Compassion, joy, innocence, holiness, worthiness, and oneness. Under fear's domain, fear. And the Course says, in our reality, fear is the opposite of love. Fear is a state of lovelessness and a lack of love. Under fear's domain are states of being such as guilt, hurt, attack, counterattack, worthlessness, and isolation. All the fear attributes are forms of suffering. So now, for me, if fear or any of its loveless friends creep in, I remind myself that I can reset my mind on love. Would you like to hear how I do that? I say or think silently, I can feel peace instead of this. I can feel love for myself or others instead of this. This is a shift in perception, and it helps me reset my awareness on the loving states of being that are always available to me and are inherent in me, and which I believe are inherent in each and every one of us. Does anybody remember the Viewmaster? You know, it was like a little red box. It's still out there. I looked this up and I found out the Viewmaster is very old. It's been around for a long time, since the late 30s, I believe. You know, it was a red plastic box, for those who do not know, if you're out of the culture, and it came with white film reels that you put in the top, and each reel had a theme. Maybe it was ocean animals or Disneyland or Star Trek. Perceiving life through fear is like looking through a Viewmaster at a reel of murderous still shots. Alternately, we can switch the reel out to perceive through love. And that might be like seeing the mountainside from The Sound of Music, or the vibrant hillside from a recent A Wrinkle in Time. I'm suggesting that there's an in-the-moment powerful choice we can make to intentionally change our perception, and this change has real-life consequences for the way we feel and live with others. So in any moment, we can ask, am I feeling fear or am I feeling love? Am I living within the domain of fear and lovelessness? Or am I living within the domain of love and all of its attributes? Discerning between the two calls for a tuning in. And I invite you to try it now if you're willing. So if you're willing, put your hand on your belly and sense the feeling that you're sitting in and with. If you feel anxious, irritable, or unworthy, lacking anything, think or say, I can feel peace instead of this. And then breathe deeply. And again. Choosing to drop fear is an act of love for oneself. Choosing to drop fear is an act of love for everyone we meet. I hope all of UUMAN grows in the practice of perceiving love. May peace and love be with you.
In an effort to fulfill and further the vision and mission of this congregation, we ask that our members and friends share of their time, treasure, and talents. With this, we will now take the offering. They may also give using the Givelify app. Now please turn to hymn number 298 in the hardback hymnal as we rise in body or spirit. And Alex will play through once, and then we will sing together. And now we extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. The moon is distant from the sea, and yet with amber hands she leads him, docile as a boy, along appointed sands. He never misses a degree, obedient to her eye. He comes just so far towards the town, just so far goes away. O Signor, thine the amber hand, and mine the distant sea, obedient to the least command. Thine eye impose on me. Go in peace. Thank you. That's the end.